Okay, welcome to this video on an introduction to transformations with matrices. Now, transformations is all to do with things like, in this case, reflections, enlargements, and rotations. Now, what you can see on the screen here is we've got a 2 by 2 matrix and we're timesing it by a 2 by 1 matrix. And we've become pretty well versed in this. If you've been going through the playlist, you've got pretty good at this, okay? Now, to consider matrix transformations, we're going to consider this 2 by 1 matrix as a coordinate. Okay, where the top number, okay, the 1 is the x coordinate, and the bottom number, the 5, is the y coordinate. And you can go and plot this onto your grid. So you're going 1 across and 5 up, which is going to go over here. I'm going to go and label this point, this coordinate. Let's go and call it point A. Now, if you multiply this this matrix or this coordinate by the 2 by 2 matrix 2, 0, 0, 1, you get the 2 by 1 matrix 2, 5. Now, I'm going to assume that you've been watching the previous videos and you can multiply matrices together. If you've kind of forgotten a little bit, well, this is just doing the first row with the first column. 2 times 1 is 2, and 0 times 5 is 0, which gives you the 2 on the top. The second row with the first column, 0 times 1 is 0, 1 times 5 is 5, which is why you've got 5 on the bottom. But what you can see here is, right, we began with the point A, which was 1, 5, and if you multiply it by the matrix 2, 0, 0, 1, you get this new coordinate, which is 2, 5. So 2 is the x coordinate, and the 5 is the y coordinate. Okay, so we get this new coordinate, 2, 5, which we can plot on the same grid, 2, 5. They're pretty close, which is a little bit awkward, but that's fine. It still works out nicely. So this new point 2, 5, I'm going to go and call it A dash. Okay. So what you can see is if we take this point 1, 5 and we multiply it by this 2 by 2 matrix 2, 0, 0, 1, we get this new point 2, 5, which I've called A dash. And this is really equivalent to saying that the 2 by 2 matrix has transformed the point 1, 5 to the point 2, 5. Okay, so this matrix 2, 0, 0, 1 has transformed the matrix 1, 5 to 2, 5. 1, 5 to 2, 5. Now we've got some new terminology here. You call the initial coordinate, this is called the object. Okay, this is your starting point. So the point 1, 5, you call this the object. It is where you start. And the point 2, 5 is the image. It's where you've ended up. Okay, so really all this is so far is just using your knowledge on multiplying matrices together. Okay, so we have the object gone to the image because it's been transformed by the matrix 2, 0, 0, 1. And that's it. Okay, so A, object, A dash, image. Now let's just look at a quick question just to conclude the video. And it says, well, you've been given the matrix M is 3, 4, 1, 2. Work out the image of the point A, 4, 2. Remember the image, okay, is the final point. So work out the image, which is the final coordinate of the point 4, 2 under the transformation represented by M. And we've just seen that to get this new final point, you just multiply the matrices together. Now it is quite important the order in which you do this. You've got to go for the 2 by 2 matrix first, then the 2 by 1. Otherwise, it won't work out. So we take the 2 by 2, which is 3, 4, 1, 2. We multiply this by the 2 by 1, which is 4, 2. Remember this coordinate, 4, 2. We can write it as the matrix like this, okay, where this is the x coordinate, y coordinate. And you just got to go and work this out, okay? And whatever you get will be your image, which is what you want. Let's go and do this, okay? So over here. Now, multiply matrices, we do the rows with the columns. So 3 times 4 is 12, and we add on 4 times 2, which is 8. That's your top term. Then you do the second row with the first column. 1 times 4 is 4, and 2 times 2 gives you also 4. There we go. So this is going to go to 12 and 8 gives you 20. 20, 4 plus 4 gives you 8. And there we go. So the image is the point 28. This is your answer. Okay. Oh, I can't even see my highlighter. Very good. Over here. So this is your answer. Okay, 28. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could represent this on a grid, which I will do for you. Okay, so let's go on to back to pen. There we go. So let's just do this really, really quickly. Okay, a little really quick sketch, nothing crazy here. So we began with the point 4, 2. If that's your x-axis, that's your y-axis. 4, 2 was over here. We could go and call that point A, which they've done for us, 4, 2. And then once you transformed it by the transformation matrix, 3, 4, 1, 2, we got the point 28, which is going to be somewhere over here. It's not a very good sketch, is it? Okay, you can go and call that A dash if you want to. So that's what's going on visually on a sketch. And that's an introduction to matrix transformations. So thank you for watching.